Cheap cars with unlimited tuning potential. Cars that are built, not bought, which is more than a great slogan. For some of us, it's the only way.
It's the only way.
And if that sounds like you, well, very good news, because today on Idealist, I've got 8 of the best cheap cars that you can build to slay supercars. I'm Brad Danger, this is Ideal, like, subscribe, and let's go. In the land of the rising sun, it goes by the name of the Toyota Altezza, and trust me, it's a darling among car enthusiasts, even though it emerged from the luxury division of Toyota. On the spec sheet, it looks like it's cut from the same cloth as the BMW E36, which we all love here at Ideal. I mean, we're talking straight 6 engines, 4 doors, and this sacred rear-wheel drive setup with LSD. I mean, could you ask for more?
No.
But let's get real. In a head-to-head, the Lexus IS300 doesn't quite catch up to the E46 in terms of raw speed or that German-engineered refinement. And because of this, it flew under the mainstream radar until, well, the drift kids found themselves priced out of the 240SX market and started hunting for new prey.
The IS300 is a worthy adversary to the BMW, and yes, it's rocking the iconic 2JZ engine. Sure, it's not the turbocharged 2JZ GTE variant, and yeah, it lacks some of the beefier internals. But guess what? The same aftermarket components fit like a glove on both engines. Plus, with the GE's higher compression ratio, you can squeeze out impressive performance without breaking the bank on a big turbocharger.
So, think of it as more of a practical Supra on a budget. That's a big win, especially if you're scouring the market for affordable performance cars. But a word to the wise, these hidden gems are becoming collector's items. So if you're itching to get your hands on one, like this beauty I just spotted for under 9K, you better step on the gas. Literally. And of course, we've linked to all these Ideal deals down below in the first comment, so go check them out. See if you can snag one yourself using the Ideal Car strategies, which I'll link to that workshop as well. But what if you want some real muscle in your life? American muscle. That's the sweet, sweet symphony of the LS V8 engine. We're talking about one of the most modifiable engines of all time.
It's an engine that's practically begging you to unlock its potential. With an LS, you can make 500 horsepower without breaking a sweat or your wallet. Just slap a new cam here, a set of headers there, throw in some fuel and ignition upgrades, and maybe a little headwork for good measure, and boom! You're tearing up the highway like nobody's business.
Now, I get it, you might have your sights set on the higher Z06 package, and who wouldn't? But remember, this is a tuner's paradise we're talking about. The base C5 gives you the freedom to flex those mechanical muscles and make it your own for way less money. These American icons are starting to climb the price ladder. So if you want a piece of this all-American pie, you better start acting now and not later. Check out this cream puff for just 7K. Yeah, if you ever wanted a C5, now is the time to pull the trigger. Trust me, your inner tuner will thank you. And if you're enjoying this vid so far, help us out and hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. And what if cars built like sledgehammers are not your thing? Well, let's take a look at something that's built more like a katana. Yeah, sure, there's a special place in hell for the person that designed the MR2's engine bay. I mean, it might as well have a sign that says enter at your own risk on top of it. And okay, yes, the snap oversteer, that kind of questions your life choices. But come on, that's what makes the MR2 such a riot.
Throw on some coilovers, sticky tires, and perhaps an exhaust just to make it more shouty, and what do you get? A pocket rocket that outmaneuvers a Miata in the twisties and laughs at its power-to-weight ratio. While this pick might not be the best tuner car to make insane levels of power, it's what can be done in the handling department that gets us excited. That being said, you can turbocharge this bad boy for around $3,000 and expect to make around 250 wheel horsepower. In a car this light, that's not bad.
Think of it as a Lotus on a top ramen budget. If you care more about victory laps than Instagram likes, you've got to get behind the wheel of one of these bad boys. Oh, and they are CHEAP. Now, the biggest downside here, yeah, it's practicality. Look, if you're hoping to fit anything more than a packet of gum and your hopes and dreams in this car, well, you're gonna be out of luck. Even a Miata feels like a luxury SUV in comparison. But hey, you're not buying an MR2 for the storage space. You're buying it for the sheer thrill. So go on, live a little bit, or a lot. Here, we found one for $8,100 and it's just begging for you, or me really. I'm tempted to pick this up and destroy the local autocross. You already know all about the Infiniti G35, and if you don't, go check out our Why You Need series up here. It's a doozy. Now, it's essentially a 350Z with back seats and a clock in the center of the dash. A luxury car that comes as a sedan, coupe, or convertible with rear or all-wheel drive. And Infiniti offers it with any engine that you would want as long as it's a VQ.
Now, everyone wants a turbo because, well, they want the noise. But the best value you can get comes from a supercharger.
1, 2, 3!
For like $4,000 in an afternoon of work, your G35 can have 400 horsepower, remain smog legal, and reasonably reliable, which is good. Because a lot of times, cheap just means cheap to buy, but you'll go bankrupt after a year of ownership. A VQ engine is reliable enough that you're probably gonna be okay, making this affordable all the way around.
Right now, a clean G35 is going to cost you right around $12,000. Now, you can find them cheaper, but starting off with the nicest one you can afford is probably in your best interest. Now, V6s are cool and all, but something magical happens when you put your pistons in a row. Why should an E36 be on your radar? Well, for a lot of reasons. First, it's a car that practically comes with balance and poise as standard features. Even among the BMW lineage, it's a budget-friendly playground for modifications. Go to any track in the world or drift event, and you're gonna be counting E36s like they're going out of style. Seriously, these babies are the new poster child for budget performance. Remember when the E30 was the darling of the track day crowd? Well, those days are long gone, my friends. E30s are a rare breed now. So, the torch has been passed to the E36. And guys, let's talk budget. An M3, yeah, would be nice. But if you're looking to go fast for cheap, you're probably not springing for one. A 325, however, fits the bill very nicely.
Thinking of turbocharging? Go for it. You could easily get that bad boy cranking out 400 horsepower. Inline sixes are inherently well balanced, and BMW builds a pretty tough one. But if you're asking for my 2 cents and cheap speed is the goal, I know it's a lot of work, but it's hard to beat an LS swap. You're looking at an easy 200 horsepower gain.
Chances are you'll probably leave the engine alone and focus on tightening up the suspension, maybe even welding the differential. Trust me, this car is more than satisfying with its stock power output. And get this, you can do it all for around $7,000. But maybe drifting just isn't your scene. If you're dreaming of all-wheel drive and a crispy WRX is just a little bit too big of a bridge to cross, I've got a wild card for you. Snag a Saab. Trust me, on this one. Okay, I can feel your confusions. It's one of my superpowers. Saab has done, well, a lot of strange things over the years, like mounting a transmission on the front of an engine, or just mass producing a bunch of 2-stroke cars, or rebadging a Subaru WRX as a 9.2. But since not a lot of people know that, when they sell their quirky old little car from a defunct Swedish brand, they don't sell it for WRX prices. It just doesn't have the Subaru tax.
The WRX is legendary for a lot of things, and tunability is one of them. Cobb access ports, big turbos, unequal length headers, all widely available, and all easy to bolt on to a 9.2X to create the ultimate supercar slang sleeper. I have to warn you though, to make big power reliably out of one of these, just like the WRX, some internal engine upgrades are gonna need to happen. But built not bought is what this video is all about, am I right?
Yeah, here's one I found for $8,300, which is like half of what a WRX is worth. Just keep the secret between us, even though, well, we just did, but no one watches these videos, right? Let me know in the comments below. But I know some of you guys aren't into cars that come from a country where you can buy flat pack furniture and a side of meatballs. And that's okay. Check out the CRX. The Civic is such an obvious choice. It's like the default car you think of when you think of tuner. And don't get me wrong, it is a solid option for learning to work on and drive, but it's just, there are so many of them. Instead, get a CRX or a Del Sol. Under the hood, they look identical to the Civic you all want, which means they accept basically all the same mods. The CRX is just a shorter, lighter Civic, and the Del Sol is just a 2-seater topless version.
Both have infinitely tunable B-Series motors, and in true Honda fashion, they go together like Legos. Swap in a K-Series or a Turbo B16, or find a B18B, whatever you want. Then go wild with the aftermarket catalog. Suddenly, your $4,000 commuter is hanging with the big boys out on the racetrack.
Oh, and before you come crying to me about how awful front-wheel drive cars are, go pilot a modified CRX. No, really, like go find a way to get behind the wheel of one and drive it in anger, and then get back to me. Check out this sweetheart with VTEC for only $9K, or just go with the best-selling sports car of all time. Modding Mustangs? Yeah, we can trace this all the way back to the 60s with Carroll Shelby working his magic. Fast forward through the Roush and Celine eras, and now we've got RTR cranking out these ready-to-drift beasts. But, guys, who cares? Those cars are all ridiculously expensive. No, what it means to you and me is a fully loaded buffet of affordable upgrades at our fingertips. Everything from simple bolt-on power gains to full-on suspension retrofits, spanning across generations. So which Mustang is your ticket to glory? Now, the Fox body used to be the go-to, but let's be honest, those are getting scarce and are already modded. SN95s and new Edge Mustangs are on the rise, but you can still grab them for a steal. But if you're looking for my take, go for the S197s. The aftermarket support is bananas.
With options from BBK, Ford, Roush, Whipple, and Celine, you could practically have a different supercharger for every day of the week. Find them on eBay for a few $1,000s, bolt them on, and you'll be leaving coyotes in the dust without emptying your wallet.
You can snag one for about 10 grand, which is an absolute steal of a deal. With a few simple upgrades, you can hit a quarter mile in 10 seconds or less. And check out what I just stumbled on for 8 grand. Yeah, sure, you might need a little extra modification to run 10s, but that's why we're here, right? So, which one of these would you want in your ideal garage? Personally, I'm kind of feeling that Mustang. Running 10s would be a lot of fun. Like today's list, well, let us know which one you like the most down in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed the vid, hit the like button and subscribe if you're new and turn on that notification bell, and check out this Ideal vid up here or whatever YouTube recommends you watch next. I'm Brad, this is Ideal, and promise me one thing, keep living the ideal lifestyle.